All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the most valuable piece of real estate on all of Amazon, the buy box. Now, Amazon calls it the featured offer, but whatever you call it, if you're a seller, this is the absolute key to unlocking some serious sales.
So let me ask you something. When a customer lands on a product page, where do their eyes, and more importantly, their clicks actually go? The answer might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many sellers overlook just how critical it is.
You guessed it. It's the featured offer. It's that prime spot right at the top with those big, beautiful buy now and add to cart buttons. For most people, this is the path of least resistance. It's the default, it's the easiest, and frankly, it's often the only way they'll make a purchase.
And look, I can't stress this enough. Even if there are 10 other sellers with the exact same product, only one gets to be in that spot at any given time. Winning this can literally be the difference between a few sales here and there and an absolute flood of orders.
I mean, just think about the typical customer journey, right? The vast majority are going to click that first option, the featured offer. A much smaller group might scroll down to see other choices. And almost nobody, who does this, clicks that tiny little link to see all the sellers. The takeaway here is huge. If you're not in that top spot, you're pretty much invisible.
So how in the world does Amazon decide who gets this golden ticket? Well, spoiler alert, it's not a lottery. It's all run by a super smart algorithm that's designed to give the customer the best possible experience. So let's pull back the curtain and see what it's looking for.
Okay, so the number one metric you've got to keep your eye on is your featured offer percentage. All this number tells you is, out of all the times customers looked at your products, what percentage of the time were you the one in that amazing buy box? It's basically your report card.
So just to make this real, let's say you log into your dashboard and you see this number, 40%. What does that actually mean for your business?
Well, the math is actually super simple. If your product's got 1,000 page views and you were the featured offer for 400 of them, then your percentage is 40%. Simple as that. The higher that number goes, the more sales you are bringing in. It's a direct line to your success. So, what's the secret sauce? What really goes into that calculation? Well, Amazon's algorithm is weighing a whole blend of factors. It's not just about one thing. It's about the whole package you're offering the customer. And that brings me to the biggest myth we really need to bust right now.
This, right here, is the single biggest mistake I see sellers make. They get into these brutal price wars, slashing their prices, thinking that being the cheapest by a few pennies is the only way to win. But that is just not true.
And here's the perfect example. Check this out. Seller A has a lower item price, but they tack on a shipping fee. Seller B, on the other hand, has a slightly higher item price but offers free shipping. When you do the math, Seller B's total price, the price to the customer's door, is actually lower. Amazon's algorithm is smart. It looks at the landed price.
In this quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head. Lowest price alone doesn't win the buy box. It's about the best overall value, which, yeah, includes price, but it also includes things like shipping speed and how reliable you are as a seller.
Okay, so we've busted the myths. We know the rules of the game, so now what? Let's get into the playbook. How can you actively start improving your chances of winning? Well, it all boils down to a pretty clear 4-point strategy. These are the 4 pillars of a winning strategy. If you can get these right, I guarantee you will see your featured offer percentage start to climb. So let's just touch on each one really quick.
First up, pricing. And like we just said, we're talking about your total landed price. You always have to factor in your shipping costs. How do you stack up against the guy offering free shipping? It's all about that final number the customer is going to pay.
Pillar number 2, availability. And folks, this one is just brutally simple. If your product goes out of stock, your chance of winning the buy box is 0. Gone. You're immediately out of the running. So good inventory management isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential.
Third is fulfillment. And this is where sellers using Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA, have a huge leg up. Because FBA guarantees fast shipping and makes you Prime eligible, the algorithm just loves it. If you're fulfilling orders yourself, you have to be incredibly fast and super reliable just to even try and compete.
And that brings us to our 4th and final pillar, which you could argue is the most important one of all, customer experience. Amazon is obsessed with its customers, so of course, it rewards sellers who feel the same way. And the main way they measure this is through something called the order defect rate.
And believe me, the difference this makes is stark. An order defect rate, which is just a mix of bad feedback, claims, and chargebacks, if you can keep that below 1%,
you have a really high chance of winning. But if it starts creeping up towards 2%, you are at high risk of losing the buy box, even if your price is amazing. It just shows you how much Amazon cares about trust.
You see, all of this stuff ties into the bigger picture of your overall account health. Winning the featured offer isn't some short-term trick. It's the reward you get for long-term, consistent, solid performance.
Think of your account health page in Seller Central as your command center. You need to be checking these metrics constantly. A low order defect rate, a low late shipment rate, and a low cancellation rate. All of these things send a powerful signal to Amazon that you're a top-tier seller.
So, we have covered a ton of ground here. Let's just boil it all down to the absolute most important things you need to remember as you go out and build your strategy.
Takeaway number 1, stop the race to the bottom on item price. Compete on the total price, shipping included. That's what the customer sees, and that's what the algorithm cares about.
And takeaway number 2, your real secret weapons aren't just pricing tools. They are operational excellence. Keep your stuff in stock, ship it on time, and make your customers happy. That is the foundation for winning that incredible spot.
So, that leaves one last question, and this one's for you. Now that you've got the playbook, what's the first change you're going to make to your strategy to go out and claim your spot in the buy box? Thanks for tuning into this explainer.